Hello everybody. So this is a start to a new vlog. Unfortunately, this is also the end of this readathon, or at least roughly. I am currently participating in Sbooktober. I figured, well, since I took so much time and effort in participating in those video challenges, I should at least really vlog while reading for this readathon. It started on the 25th. It is the 28th. What time? What is the day? Let me check. 29th. It's the 29th. I was wrong. Started on Friday, and I've been taking clips every day with every intention of like wrapping up at the end of the day, but my life has been incredibly busy this week and I just have not had the time. Like on Friday, I did my usual shift, and then what did I do Friday? I think I prepared for an audition. I don't quite remember, but I honestly think I didn't start Friday with every intention like, oh, I'll just start Saturday and that's fine. I did not do that. Saturday, I did my shift at the public library that I work at in the morning. I started an audiobook. I actually had already started The Institute by Stephen King when I got the notice that on Overdrive, Wicked Fox by Kate Cho had shown up, and honestly, I knew I had a chance of finishing that for this readathon rather than The Institute, because The Institute is a biggin. I'm not enthralled with it either, so I figured, you know what, I'll listen to it in November. It'll count for my readathon. So I started Wicked Fox. And I like it. It's actually about a girl who, I don't know how to pronounce this monster's name, but she is half fox, half human, which means she is like this mythical creature that's a fox. And in order to feed, she actually takes the energy from a human, like the gi, I think it's pronounced. The story is set in Seoul. And one night she actually rescues a human boy. She doesn't know who he is, but she tells him, don't talk about what you saw here tonight, and she thinks that's that. But while in the effort of saving this boy, like the bead that's basically her life force comes out, and now she has to figure out how to get this bead back in her without her mom knowing, because her mom is actually a full fox and her mom is pretty tough on her. In fact, our main character kind of gave herself away at her old school, and so it's why they're in Seoul. She had to like transfer to Seoul to hide her identity, and so the next day after rescuing this boy, she goes to her new school, and lo and behold, that boy that she rescued is in her class. It's the start of a series, and I'm not quite halfway, but I am nearly there. I like the story so far. I'm not necessarily loving it, but I'm not hating it either, and I think I need to see how this first book wraps up. After work, I actually got on the train and went to my friend's birthday party. She had a costumed birthday party, and in fact, for this birthday party, I made myself an Other Mother Coraline costume. I had basically bought this turtleneck on sale, really cheap. It was $3 clearance that I was able to save. The reason why it was clearance because it was damaged, but it was easy enough to fix. I just had to like tie off the seam pull and then clean up some of the stains. And I also was able to buy this like really cheap like $5 red sneakers from Poshmark. And so for my costume, the only thing I had left to do was make my button glasses mask. I saw like a bunch of other DIYs that basically take the button and then use double-sided tape to like attach the button to your eye or a spirit gum, but honestly I didn't want to deal with that all night, especially knowing that my vision was going to be partially obscured. And so I took these buttons and used glue to attach them, and of course the glue fought back. Took ages, but thankfully the glue dried enough to where I wasn't breathing in fumes, and the look worked. But on the train to my friend's birthday party, I did read a graphic novel by Neil Gaiman. I'm totally spacing on the title. Snow, Glass, and Apples, I think it's called. It's a Snow White retelling with a horror twist. Like Snow White is actually a vampire, and it was actually a really cool retelling. I enjoyed it a lot. There were some plot holes to the actual story, like the queen. Oh, he's my husband. Well done. Hey, Joe. That exciting! Yay! I'm glad. You were over there for a while. Hello everybody, it's Wednesday. I got really distracted yesterday. While I was checking in with you guys, my husband had walked over. Normally when I work two gigs in the same day, Jack will drop me off at work and then he'll head straight home. He actually had a phone interview right as he was dropping me off. Like, we had hoped to drop me off much earlier so he can be at home when his phone interview came. That did not happen, so he stayed in the parking lot and he was in there for a good long while. I actually had waited as long as I could to check in with you guys because I didn't want to distract him at all from this interview. And so I was like, all right, well, I have to go into work soon. I'm going to check in with y'all. But as I was checking in with y'all, he had walked over to tell me how the interview went. He said it went really good. I'm really happy for him. And it went so well that he has an in-person interview coming up. Whether or not he gets this job is whether or not we move to California. He unfortunately is getting laid off at the end of the year, which was pretty much our in to moving to California. If he was going to be able to keep his job, he would have been able to do it like telecommute in California, which meant one of us would be employed when we move out to California. Unfortunately, due to circumstances that's out of Jack's control and out of his boss's control, he's getting laid off at the end of the year. So there is a very good chance that we're not moving at all this year. He's been looking at jobs in California, but it's more important that he finds any job at this point before he officially loses the one that he has now. And if he gets this one, he can keep this one until he's ready to, job hunt somewhere else. In regards to the move, it's not a no, it's a not yet. And after we checked in with each other, I convinced him, like, hey, since now we got some time and it looks like we won't have time to pick up pumpkins at the grocery store, can we just go to the church next door and pick up some pumpkins? The church that's right next to the little branch that I work at sells pumpkins around this time of year for charity. Normally I don't go there because it's usually in the more expensive side, but at this point it was either get those pumpkins or no pumpkins at all. We got slightly littler ones than we did the year before because they sell them by size. And so actually it wasn't too bad. I got a 9-inch pumpkin and he got a 4-inch pumpkin, and that was like $13. That really wasn't bad. Last year we spent upwards of like $25 to $30 on pumpkins, but that's because we both got massive pumpkins. I planned on gutting them this morning so we can start carving them tomorrow, because tomorrow is Halloween. I just got really distracted editing a video this morning, so that did not happen. I am so behind on editing videos, it's not even funny. I have my Hocus Pocus readathon reading vlog. I have my Spookathon reading vlog. Now I have this reading vlog. And I still had a Sbooktober challenge video to put up. So the challenge video is what I edited and put up today. But let's go back in time and continue talking about what I was talking about yesterday before I got distracted. I'm pretty sure where I left off, I was on my way to my friend's birthday party and I had dressed up as Other Mother from Coraline, which was a pain in the butt to make. But I was successful in making said costume and I did it on a budget. On the train to my friend's house, I did say I had started reading this, and I do remember not being able to recall the title. It's Snow, Glass, and Apples by Neil Gaiman, and I believe it's drawn by Colleen Doran. It's a horror retelling of Snow White, which I think is very cool. I loved the concept of it. The dialogue was okay. The art style was great, but I feel like there's a lot of like plot holes in this. At no point does it explain how Snow White becomes a vampire, and the evil queen is actually the victim here. It does not explain how Snow White became a vampire, so I'm very confused of how that occurred, especially since they make it a point to seem like Snow White wasn't always a vampire. Because her first victim was her father. But that didn't happen until like years later, and after he marries the evil queen. So what happened in between? So very cool, very much enjoyed this. I rated this 4 out of 5 stars. I didn't read at all Saturday after finishing this because I did make it to my friend's house, enjoyed myself at the party, and the next day on Sunday, I had an audition in Boston. Well, let me tell you, the torrential downpour in Boston on Sunday was ridiculous. It was so bad that I actually did a lot of water damage to this book and to Wilder Girls. I had that in my backpack too. Right now I have weights sitting on Wilder Girls back at home to try to hide some of the damage, because I actually had both books up against a fan to really dry them out. This one, sorry, I thought someone was behind me. This one was actually so bad that I stuck it in the freezer to try to make sure to kill whatever mold spores was in it, because I don't want this book growing mold. I also had to wait sitting on this book to try to like hide the damage a little bit. It looks so much better now. It looked really bad before. See, that is what it looks now. It is such a huge leap from what it was, but if you look inside it, you can see that the book is damaged. So I'm a little worried that I'm going to be charged for this book, especially since it's so new. I'm the first one to have taken out. I've taken this out of my library, which means my job library. So I don't want to like hide the fact and then get caught on it. So I don't know what I'm going to do. You know what? I think I'm just going to throw it in the back. And if I get caught and was like, oh, sorry, I didn't think the damage was that bad, of course I'll pay for it. Because I just don't actually want to pay for this book. It's not bad. It's like a $13 book, but I still don't want to pay for it. So this is not my proudest moment, y'all. The audition went really good on Sunday. I was still exhausted when I finally got home. I was so exhausted when I finally got home that I didn't read for the rest of the day. And then I've kind of had a lumbering last couple of days. Monday, I had job number 1 in the morning, and then I had that acting internship in the afternoon. Not sure if I already spoke about it in this video, but it's basically this casting director that's a big deal in Boston also teaches a directing class, and she hires actual actors to help out with the student directors. And I do it. I volunteer my time because I really want to stay on her good side and I want her to remember me. So my day was swamped on Monday. My day started at 7:30 when I left, and then I didn't get home till 10:30. And of course, I was up really late because I couldn't even relax. But I didn't do any reading on Monday either. However, on Tuesday, when I finally checked in with y'all and I got really distracted, I lied. I did start something. I did read something on Monday, but I feel like I've been reading this for the past few days, so I can't tell you when exactly I started it. But it's Wicked Fox by Kate Cho. And I'm pretty sure I already talked about it. I still got a good portion left of the story. I'm about halfway, but I've been listening to it as an audiobook. So I feel like I have a good chance of finishing that this week. And that I've been kind of listening throughout Monday and Tuesday as well. Last night, after I checked in with you guys, I did start and finish a graphic novel, Mooncakes, which is right here. I plan on returning it today. Thankfully, this did not get water damage. Mooncakes by Wendy Zhu and Suzanne Walker. I don't think I'm pronouncing that name right, but I apologize if I completely butchered it. This is a really fun graphic novel. It's about a non-binary werewolf and a female witch meeting back up together after so many years apart. They're in high school. The werewolf, they are actually doing research on this demon, and they realize that they have to use their own werewolf magic to get rid of it, but they don't know how to go about that, which is why they came in contact with the witch. I'm trying to see what their names are, so I'm not just calling them by their gender. Tam is the werewolf, Nova is the witch. Yeah, so Tam had gotten in touch with Nova and Nova's family to try to figure out what to do about this demon. I liked the dialogue. I thought the dialogue was very cute, very sweet, and at times made me laugh. And I loved the art style. I thought the art style also fit the vibe of what the story was. I especially loved the little romance that happened between Nova and Tam. However, I feel like there was quite a bit of plot holes in this. I knew from the beginning that something was missing, and Tam kind of reveals what that was around the 150-page mark. But there's still a couple of things that was never explained. Like during a family gathering, Nova's dead parents come as transparent ghosts to said family event, but they didn't acknowledge how they died or how that was even possible. So I was confused by that for the good portion of this book, especially since they kept coming back. And it's like, so what's the deal here? And also I thought the ending was a little anticlimactic. So I'm tempted to rate this 3.5 stars, but right now I've rated this 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. There's no real TBR for this week. Whatever I read, I'm going to see if it fits in any of the challenges for this readathon. I actually have yet to really look at this challenge sheet and see what's what. I know it's like going to the fair. A corn maze is this particular challenge, a ride is this particular challenge, apple bobbing is this. The idea is super cute. But I have to sit down and write down everything I'm reading and see what matches with what, and I'll tell you guys about that later. Now I'm actually going to go to work and hope and pray nobody notices this obscene book that I'm bringing back. Okay, so it has been a while since I last checked in. I had assumed that I had already filmed an outro for this video, but I have not, it seems, because I can't find it anywhere in any of my folders on my computer. And would you like to know how long it's been? It's freaking Christmas at this point. I never got caught for that book, for either book that I got water damage on. The Neil Gaiman book was my library's book. Wilder Girls was from another library, and that was easy to just send back. I wasn't entirely sure about that Neil Gaiman book. I threw it in the back, and today, by this point, since it is like at the end of the first week of December, no one's questioned it, no one's asked about it, so I got away with destroying a perfectly good book and putting it back on the shelf. No one's complained, so I would imagine that someone else has taken it out at this point and nobody really cares. So I went through my Goodreads just to confirm like if I read anything else during this week, and I did not. I did finish Wicked Fox by Kate Cho. It was either on Halloween or the day after Halloween. So because it was so close to the end of this readathon, I'm counting it. Trying to think how I rated it. So I ended up rating it 3 out of 5 stars. Basically, the word that was struggling in the beginning of this video, she's a gumiho, she's half fox demon, and she's half human. Her mom is a full gumiho. And the story really followed her, our main character, by the way, the daughter, not the mother, trying to, like, really coming to terms at what it means to be a human and a gumiho. The mythology of it was really cool. I enjoyed that a lot. And the story had this like K-drama like vibe happening with it, which I thought was a lot of fun. Beginning was so strong. The rest of it felt really rushed. Like there were certain like plot twists that got revealed that I felt that was really rushed. Like the one with the detective. That's all I'm going to say about it. But I wish we had spent more time with the detective, so that way that plot twist with him like really like hit you hard, and it just didn't. So it was a lot of fun. I just didn't love it, which is why I ended up rating it 3 out of 5 stars. I know on Halloween I did spend my time carving pumpkins like I said I was going to. I did my usual work stuff, came home, and enjoyed Halloween. Like I carved pumpkins, listened to this audiobook, and then I made sure to have time to like watch Halloween movies or Halloween vibe sort of movies. Like I like binge watched Over the Garden Wall that day, and I'm pretty sure I watched Nightmare Before Christmas as well. Not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure I did that. But that was pretty much the rest of my week until I like dove into my Lord of the Readathons reading blog and all that. So I only read 3 books this week, not a whole lot, but we're gonna see what it counts for some of these challenges. Like I said, there was like a list of challenges, and what you read counted for certain challenges, and basically we could mix and match and have them count as much as we can. So I'm looking at this list of challenges right now. A book with a flower on the cover would have counted for the sunflower field, and honestly, if I squinted, the Wicked Fox cover has like petals floating around our 2 main characters. So we're going to say that counts. Hayride, a book with a journey or quest. I'm trying to think, a journey or a quest. You know what? We'll have Snow, Glass, and Apples count for that because our main character, who we know as the evil stepmother, not so evil in this one, her quest was to take down the evil Snow White. Cornets, a book you think will have twists and turns. Oh, well. I'm trying to think how I felt about these books before I read them. You know what? I didn't honestly thought that while I was reading these books, so I won't have any of them count for this because that would truly be cheating. It's not like I haven't cheated already, but we're gonna at least be honest with this one. Haunted House, a spooky book. Easy. The horror retelling of Snow White, Snow, Glass, and Apples. Pumpkin Patch, a book with orange on the cover. I don't think we got anything there. Wicked Fox is definitely all pinks and purples. The Snow White one has more like darker colors and some red. if I squint, is there a bit of orange on mooncakes? Not really. Not enough for it to really matter. So, no pumpkin patch. Apple picking, a book someone picked for you. No. I don't have anything for that one. Scarecrow, a book you've been scared to read. Not really. Ferris wheel, a book from a unique perspective. Snow White book, for sure. I keep calling it... Wow, I keep calling it the Snow White book when our main character wasn't Snow White. Snow, glass, and apples. I should really be, like, keeping track of these so I know which ones count. So sunflower field, yes. Alright, now that I wrote those down, let's actually continue. Petting zoo, a book with an animal in it. All three of them did. We have The Fox and Wicked Fox. We have various woodland creatures and snow, glass, or apples. At least I'm assuming so. And then we also have The Werewolf and Mooncakes. So, yeah, that one I got for sure. Face painting, a book that features transformations. Totally Mooncakes. Wow, it's amazing how many challenges 3 books will get you. Book that features water. Snow, glass, and apples for sure. Because that's what is snow made out of. Pie eating contest, devour a book in 24 hours. And I basically finished the graphic novels within 24 hours. Candy apples, read a book while enjoying a fall treat. I did not do that. Bonfire, read a book while being warm and cozy. And I was not warm or cozy with any of these books, so we won't count for that. So, I ended up doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 different challenges. The sunflower field, the hayride, the haunted house, the Ferris wheel, petting zoo, face painting, bobbing for apples, and the pie eating contest. And a lot of these I would have done at any carnival. Of course, I would have done the other stuff too. Like, I probably wouldn't have done the pie eating contest. I would have watched it, but not participated. But I totally would have done any of the, like, different, like, rides or attractions, like corn maze. For sure, I would have done that. But alas, I didn't do it for this. So 3 books and 8 challenges for this readathon. I wasn't the greatest vlogger. I wasn't the greatest reader. But I would still consider this a success. Despite the fact that it was a straight up hot mess for this week, but we did it, we got it done, and just in time for Christmas. So I guess I'll leave you guys here. Let me know down in the comments if you completed some of these. What is your favorite fallish thing to do? Let me know down in the comments below. Not like it matters at this point. We all care about peppermint mochas and snowmen right now, but answer how you will below. And if you saw me and myself, I totally did. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I guess it's ta-ta for now. Bye, guys.